Short return ball by Parenteau there. Ooh, there we go. There's probably the first decent bounce speed up we've seen. Okay, let's back it all the way up to the serve. Let's break this down. Okay, both Jansen and Irvine like staying further back on the drop very clearly. I don't know if this is something that they've discussed or it's just their personal style. But the one thing I'm going to point out here is even though Jansen doesn't leave super early, like she's a little late on making that decision, just crossing the plane before she starts to go, once she has decided she's moving forward, takes a couple big steps. She's not running. She's not sprinting. That's what I talk about. Once you understand when you're allowed to move in pickleball, you can literally walk this game. The ball is crossing the plane. Look at Jensen's knees. Look how she gets down. Pre-impact, her body is still. That is how to play pickleball. That's one of the reasons why Jansen is better than Irving when they're out playing other times. She is ready earlier, which gives her the ability to get more shots. Okay? So they're working their way up. I like the focus. Jansen sees that and moves in. This one was a little off because she jumps up post-impact to reposition herself and then gets caught with it behind herself. So she takes a short hop on this ball. And then she's out of position. Okay, so let's talk about this. So just to be clear, this is where the point breaks down because of Jensen's decision to take a double step on this ball and let it get behind her. So it was like one of the first points of the match where she did the same thing, where this foot is not dropping back to get on a 45-degree plane, and then she's just short hopping the ball, and both times she's basically short hopped the ball. She has hit something that sits up and is semi-attackable. Okay, so that is the breakdown, but here's what I just want you to see. The ball is here, and that ball got there by Irvine's decision to hit it. So when the ball is here, who is who? Okay, so at this point, Irvine decided that she's going to be the blocker. Now, she hasn't made it up to the kitchen line, and so I would have liked to have seen her get a little bit more ground. She's watching her beautiful shots. She's hitting good shots. She's unfortunately doing a lot of watching how pretty her shots are. So she should have made it up here and blocked. What that should have done is that, and she did it a little bit, that means that Jansen should move this way. Been here. I'm going to clean this up. You guys obviously saw the arrow. Let's clean this up a little bit. There's one foot, there's the second foot, and there's the spread of the legs, and then her torso should be pointing this direction towards the ball. That's where Jansen should be. So let's move this forward a couple frames. Jansen does kind of start to go there and then sees the paddle position and everything where Todd is going to go left. Okay? That's fine. The ball is now here. And then she goes back across. And so the issue comes in my personal opinion, in two spots. When the ball is right here, where should Irvine be? This is the number one thing. If you walked out and asked any 3-5 player, they would, there? I don't know. Is she not in the right spot? Well, we can learn from the results. So where Irvine needs to be, because of where Jansen decided to hit it, she had plenty of time. She needs to be right up here on this line. Low, leg spread, arms up and ready to get any speed up coming so she can smash it back. Now, her feet, you see there like, man, that's a really wide line. I'm literally marking, this is how wide her feet are. She has good depth on her feet. She just needs to be you have to move up into the kitchen line and then move back. And so because she doesn't move up to that kitchen line, she allows this gap to form. If she had been on the kitchen line, so instead of moving on towards the kitchen line, she moves to her left and opens up a hole. When the ball is here, where's the most likely spot it's going to go, right? This is where the ball is most likely going to go. So if I'm going to leave that there, because the ball's not moving yet, the ball is not getting impacted yet, the ball went in the most likely area where it went, but Irvine shifts over to guard less of the court. Okay? Now, I agree that because of how Jansen hit the ball, she didn't make it all the way back. So we got 2 errors in this scenario to have such an easy win, to have that big of a gap go right down the middle, no one even close to it. It's not any singular person's fault, but it could have been saved twice. If Irving was in the right position, easily forehand smash, and they probably win the point. So if Irvine had just done what she's supposed to do on blocking, I truly believe they would have got this. If Irvine, the reason you have your blocker's foot on the line and at a 45-degree angle is because then your backhand gets this ball if your blocker can't get it. And that's the whole point on why when choosing to hit your cross-court dinks, you really got to realize, hey, if I'm going to take this ball and send it back over that way, I got to move my feet. Because Jansen short hops this ball and goes up vertical and has her left leg kind of go back as this little hop, very much delays her in getting over, and she doesn't take that extra step that she knows if she's watching this film that she should have. That's one of the biggest reasons why when you step over, you're loading. Where are we loading? We're not loading on tilting from the waist down. We are loading the majority of our weight. You want 80, 90% of your weight. You want to basically be able to pick up on your left leg to hit this dink, and then you are firing off that leg to go back the other way. So she gets a chunk of her weight right here. She gets a chunk of her weight right here, but she doesn't, because it's not at a 45-degree angle to the ball, she can't fire. She basically just goes up, back. See how she goes up, back with it? Her leg's here, and then everything straightens out and everything goes vertical, where what she wants to do from this position is fire that leg as if you were walking up a flight of stairs, and that momentum of you firing that leg and pushing off of it drives the ball back the way you want it, and your body naturally then goes that direction. We've also shown that many times with Annalie Waters or Ben Johns in their videos of showing the proper technique of how they're firing with their legs. And the way we know they're firing with their legs correctly is because of where their body goes afterwards, because Newton's law, opposite equal reaction to force, is we can see it by the result afterwards. So anyways, 2 mistakes here, one on Irving, one on Jansen, on them both, and that's why such an easy put away ball.